For those of us who know, I'm talking to everybody, in their 40s and 50s, maybe even 60s. Those of us who know, this is going to be a cathartic experience. I just think, because it has to be. We have to get this off our chest. We have to show these smirking, weird, eccentric, out-of-their-mind liberals that they're making friends with the wrong people. It just bothers me that this is even an issue. Carlos in Kansas, how you doing, man?
I'm all right, man. How you doing?
Doing good.
That's good. Hey, I just want to say God bless you, brother. Keep up the good fight, the great fight. And I just want to say one thing. I'm going to get straight to the point.
Okay.
When I saw the commercial with Dick Cheney, promoting for his daughter's campaign, I looked at the TV and immediately I wanted to jump out of my skin. I got so angry because this guy. No, and
I agree.
what you said at the top of the show, at the beginning of the show, you put it the same way that I've seen it all along. And I'm asking myself, I'm like, you never hear anyone talk about him or George Bush? They just let these guys ride off into the sunset.
We're going to indict and jail Donald Trump. They want to indict and jail Donald Trump when we can look back in history and say, what about these others that should have been jailed for their war crimes? What about these others that would have been jailed for violating the Constitution? Hell, what did Dick Cheney do with his cohorts with the Project for New American Century? They sent Bill Clinton a notice saying that in order for us to be successful in the Middle East, we need to find a way to galvanize the people into allowing us to extend the military-industrial complex. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is with a new Pearl Harbor. And what did they get on September 11th? They got a new Pearl Harbor. Then they
That's
go on.
When everything changed.
Yeah, and then they say, and also what would be very effective is some sort of a disease or some sort of biological weapon that can target certain individuals, can be used as a political tool to get what we want. What happens after 9/11? We have COVID-19. I mean, come on. You're
a very smart guy, and let me tell you like this: you follow the money. You see these patterns happening over and over again. Yeah. The false flags events,
right.
Whatever you want to call them.
Right.
But as far as getting back to like Liz Cheney, people have to realize too, she's a Republican. Okay, that doesn't matter. I'm not affiliated with any of them, but I see it clearly. She and her family,
right,
her father in particular, they're part of the establishment. They're embedded into it, and it'll never ever go away. They're a part of the diabolical plot.
Well, see,
it doesn't matter what their party affiliation is.
It doesn't. You're right. It doesn't matter. But you can see now, though, it's no longer about political party. Because if it was about political party, Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney would be evil to the core because they are on the R side of the fence. No, it's not about that anymore. It's whoever attacks Trump, whoever attacks those who wish to destroy the globalist idea. And that's right. They're in the establishment. What did Cheney want? He had the globalist idea, too. It's just he wanted his neocon buddies to benefit from it. And so he's another one of those leaders, or that's using the term loosely, that would do anything, even sell his soul if he hasn't already to the devil to get what he wants. And it's exactly what's going on with Liz. I mean, I just think to myself, did people forget history? They must forget history. They have to. And, again, proves that we're in a different timeline, obviously.
One more thing before I skate out of here.
Sure.
Liz Cheney, when she said, my chin hit the floor. When she said at her, what was it, her concession speech or whatever you call it?
About Lincoln?
She goes, well, not only that, but when she said, the mask came off. She goes, I will do everything within my power to see that Donald Trump never becomes president.
Right.
That right there should have let the world know that she's automatically disqualified from leading any committees when it pertains to Donald Trump. Well, she just told on herself.
She just said,
and nobody gets it.
Yeah, they don't get it. Oh, so you're going to do everything in your power to destroy this man, and you had a show trial. There was a Soviet-style show trial, and no one yet has called it out as election meddling. And that's exactly what it is. You get a group of people that hate one man, they all gather together, and they start throwing rocks at him. And then in the end, Either the guy walks away, at least with a few scratches on him, he comes back stronger than ever, or he succumbs. So far, he hasn't succumbed, and it's showing that people are smarter. A lot of people are smarter than those who are sitting there embracing these scorpions. It's just ugly. Carlos, thank you. Let's go to Carlos in California. Another Carlos. Hey, Carlos, you're on Ground Zero.
Well, good evening, Clyde. Dick Cheney is one of the most corrupt, vile, insidious individuals that's ever existed. He presided over the biggest deception that's been foisted on the American people. He presided over the perception that bin Laden had created 9/11, had taken his terrorists and crashed into the towers when it wasn't bin Laden. It was Israel. Okay? There's a lot of proof of that.
Well, there were a lot of countries that were involved, and of course, like I said when I've done shows before, there's Saudi Arabia, there's Israel, there is the other Middle Eastern elements, but the idea of saying that it was bin Laden only, that there were no other countries involved, and I can't remember what congressman said this, but he said he was on some PBS show, and he says if we found out just what countries were involved with 9/11, we would certainly be at war with them. And I think that that's what he was saying. He was basically hinting at the fact that we're dealing with not only bin Laden's people, we're dealing with countries we're dealing with Israel, we're dealing with Saudi Arabia. And so, but there's no proof of anything, just that they were all Saudi nationals with Israeli passports. How does that happen? And the idea that Dick Cheney pushed the idea that Saddam Hussein was connected to Al Qaeda when he was Basque. He wasn't. He was Ba'athist. He wasn't. He wasn't a follower of Islam. And that's the thing that really got me, is that how are we convincing a group of people a bunch of nonsense and a bunch of intelligent psychological operations? And that's what Dick Cheney did. He was involved with whitewashing old MK Ultra stories. He was involved with cleaning up some of the messes of Gerald Ford. These are some of the things that nobody looks back in history and says, this guy is bad. He's bad news.
Yes, and the Israel, the United States, Saudi Arabia, and other countries have always had a covert relationship, and which resulted in the terrorist life. The big terrorists are out to destroy us. And look, we went into the Middle East under that false deception. Look at all the people that died over there.
Right.
All the nations we uprooted.
And who was responsible for pushing this agenda with the Project for the New American Century?
Well, Dick Cheney was part of the...
and Carlos, you're right. Yeah, exactly. And Carlos, if I was a little boy and I sat in a classroom, on a piece of paper I wrote, I wish we could get longer recesses. All we got to do is create some sort of a horrible thing in the school so we can get longer recesses, I'd be thrown out of school. That's exactly what Dick Cheney did. If we could only have a new Pearl Harbor, that would be the best thing for this country, because then we would go in as leaders and saviors, and this is the demagoguery. This is the idea and the hubris of this man. And yet we're sympathizing with his daughter. We're sympathizing with him. And I don't get it. And it needs to be stated for the record that these people don't deserve any. I don't care if they reached across the table to get a salt shaker. They don't deserve any pity. They don't deserve any of our empathy. They don't deserve any of it. They're just two-faced, backstabbing people. That's what they are.